All right, so here's one that I want you guys to take with a big grain of sand, okay? Because if this happens, not only will fan fictions be a real thing in Star Wars, because Dave Filoni's bringing it back, but I'm pretty sure this will be a bigger scene than Luke returning in episode, whatever it was, The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 8. And what I just read, like, it blew my absolute mind, man. Like, this is... Ahsoka series reportedly features an Anakin Skywalker battle on Mustafar. We knew this. Like, we knew about this rumor. There's actual details about, like, fan fictions that I used to make, like, 6-7 years ago on the channel. A new report claims Ahsoka will see the return of Anakin Skywalker once again, played by Hayden Christensen in a battle scene set on the fiery planet of Mustafar. For making StarWars.net via Bespin Bulletin, the insider notes that audiences can expect a moment wherein Ahsoka sees herself assisting Obi-Wan Kenobi during his climactic battle against Anakin in Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. They filmed a sequence where Ahsoka sees herself on Mustafar fighting Hayden Christensen's Darth Vader before he's in the suit, states the source. They are new scenes. They had a dummy for a dead Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they had clothes for a dead Obi-Wan Kenobi. They had two ideas there. One is Anakin literally kills Kenobi in that fight, where the idea would be Ahsoka and Kenobi confront Darth Vader. Another is he turns into a pile of clothes just like he always did. I have a lot to say about that. He becomes one with the Force at that time in the narrative. Making Star Wars further insisted that the fight itself is not a big scene in and of itself, so expectations should be tempered. A, I don't know if this is legit, who knows. B, if they have this fight back on Mustafar, they need to get Nick Gillard to choreograph it. If they don't get Nick Gillard, that's a big no-no. It's just a big doo-doo, okay? You can't not get the main man that made the prequels, the fight scenes in the prequels. I mean, that man was the epitome of the prequel trilogy, and he's a cool dude. Anyways, we'll see what happens. But as for the idea of a dummy for a dead Obi-Wan Kenobi and then clothes for a dead Obi-Wan Kenobi, having two ideas. One is that Anakin literally kills Kenobi, which I would go for, and then the other is that he turns into a pile of clothes when Anakin kills. So either way, Anakin's gonna kill him. This is a dope fan fiction, and it's something like every fan fiction has like wanted to see since the beginning of time is what if Anakin beat Obi-Wan on Mustafar? And having Ahsoka there as well would be ridiculous. Like, the possibilities of the outcomes are... Okay, so anyways, Obi-Wan turning into a pile of clothes is bogus. They can't do that. That's completely garbage because he didn't even know how to transcend into the Force at that point. It's after this that Obi-Wan went to Polis Massa with Padme, and this is where Yoda learns from Qui-Gon. If you guys remember that scene where Yoda is meditating and Bail Organa walks in and interrupts him rudely, there was actually dialogue there where Qui-Gon was supposed to be speaking to Yoda in the Force, communing with him, and then teaching him how to transcend into the Force and to commune in the Force properly, and teaching him his teachings, like how he basically survived after death. And it was here, where it's in the book, it's in the script, but they cut it out. Yoda says, essentially, that Qui-Gon is his new master. And this is then when he tells, once Padme passes away and Luke and Leia are born, that he tells Obi-Wan Kenobi that I've learned how to commune with your master, Qui-Gon. And Obi-Wan is like, Master Qui-Gon, oh my God. And he just says Qui-Gon. And so then that's when he embarks on this new journey of how to learn how to commune with Qui-Gon Jinn and the Force. Forget the Kenobi show and all that, like, frickin' took 10 years. No, okay? That's not even what George wanted, all right? So, it happened later on. As he was on Tatooine, he learned over the course of the 20 years how to commune with Qui-Gon and transfer himself into the Force. I don't agree with the Kenobi show. I think Disney really has this whole stupid cookie cutter script of have the hero, have him disillusioned, have him depressed, he loses his way, he is weak, he forgets how to be a Jedi, and then all of a sudden he finds himself again and he's motivated and then becomes a Jedi. It's like, stupid. Come up with something else. George already did it and he perfected it. Stop trying to do some cookie cutter crap. Anyways, as for this would be pretty ridiculously amazing, and I know there's going to be a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people aren't going to like this. I am going to like this. I'm going to love this, seeing as how my channel has basically been about fan fiction since the beginning. I have always loved what-if scenarios in Star Wars, and this is a what-if scenario. And with the world between worlds, the possibilities of what if are literally endless, and they don't matter. So she could perhaps be going in some world in her own head, or seeing like a gateway of a possibility of what if she was on Mustafar with Obi-Wan? Anakin would have defeated Obi-Wan, which then would have caused so many issues with Yoda, with Luke, with Leia, and even Padme. I mean, she wouldn't be able to like confide in Obi-Wan at the end, saying that there is good in him, you know? So what would happen there? Then what would happen with Anakin and Ahsoka? Would Anakin bring himself to kill Ahsoka in that moment? Or would he kill her? Or well, I don't think she would kill him, but that's the thing with Anakin in this moment. And it's very difficult to kind of understand how the battle would unravel because Anakin was so engulfed in the dark side and in his own ego and hubris that he was unable to really see how to fight properly or how to really do anything because he was so consumed with his own anger and blinded with his own anger and his ego. My new powers, you know, it was ridiculous. That sounded like Moff Gideon. My clones! No. Anakin would be like, you underestimate my power. Something like that. So I think that this would be a really fun fan fiction. If they don't get Nick Gillard, they better get someone who's like just, well, there's no one just as good, but someone who's extremely good and has a very good connection with Hayden and Ewan and Rosario Dawson. If they get, you know, Rosario Dawson in this, because she'd be much younger. So they might have to de-age or something like that. Because at this point, Ahsoka would, oh no, well, I guess she would jump in from her present time. Unless she's seeing a possibility of a different something else happening, which might be the case. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, in the past few months, rumors have swirled that Christensen would once again be donning the robes of Anakin Skywalker for Ahsoka. While these whisperings were never verified, of course, fans believe that the actor's willingness to reprise his role in Obi-Wan Kenobi could have set a precedent for future Star Wars returns. I hope so. Rosario Dawson, who plays Ahsoka, has remained quiet on the possibility of an Anakin Skywalker return, playing coy when directly asked and if the Jedi Sith shows up. She says, it's just been really cool that at this moment I'm joining it and he's been able to come back in 2022's Obi-Wan Kenobi and also get embraced by the Star Wars family in a way that I think is much deserved. It's definitely one of those things that would be super cool if he was in Ahsoka, but I'm just really grateful that we're in the same universe. So obviously he's in it. I would bet 100% with no doubt in my mind that he is in the show. You know, not even including like the tweet that she did a long time ago saying, you know, see you soon, Sky Guy or whatever, like tweeting to Hayden. Well, Hayden doesn't have social media, but like basically saying it to him and then having to delete it. I think that she's definitely like made a boo-boo there and he's going to be in the show 100%. I would bet on it. What I would bet, I don't know, probably lint from my belly button or something, but beyond that, not really at liberty to bet anything else. But look, that's my thoughts on this fictitious what-if scenario. I think seeing that with like Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor would be, I can't even describe what it would be like, but emotions will be shared beyond emotions being shared. Like, it's just going to be mind-boggling to see something like that, to see a revision of that scene and a fight of that scene of the boys fighting each other and Anakin winning. That's like what so many fans have wanted to see, just as like a fun what if, and we got to see it in the PS2 video game for Revenge of the Sith as like an alternate ending. And I think I think this would be pretty fun to see. I bet the reactions will be wild when the show comes out for that. I can't imagine what the watch party is gonna be like. That's probably like episode 6 or something, man. Something. It's gotta be episode 5. I don't know. I'm calling it. It's gotta be later on. Anyways, dude, I'm very excited to see our boys back if this is true. And if it's not, I'm still excited to see the show and to see Ahsoka play out and to see Dave Filoni's, you know, debut of his own show. I think Dave Filoni is the only really competent guy when it comes to Star Wars, and I think he is the only one to keep the show running. And I hope that Disney sees that. As much as they have destroyed the brand, I hope that they understand that Dave is the next best thing to George Lucas, and he respects him, and he's going to keep his legacy alive and respect the characters, unlike all the other people that came in there and just put their own spit on it. So I'm looking forward to the Ahsoka show. I hope you guys are too, and can't wait to see you guys at the watch parties. Let me know what you thought about this video and about this news. I guess we'll see. Love you guys. May the Force be with you. Later.